Hey guys, welcome back to K&K Real Talk. We are so happy to have you here today, and Kristen and I are celebrating a full year of Real Talk. So we are so excited. If it's your very first time here, we're so happy to have you. And if you're a returning listener, viewer, we just want to say thank you so much for being here. We're all about celebration today. If you haven't met me yet, I'm Kenny King, your holistic health and wellness coach. And then my lovely, beautiful co-host here, Kristen McCrovey. Hi, Kristen.
Happy Monday, everybody. As if it's been a year. Oh my God. And if you've been here since the start, thank you. I feel like we've grown a lot in the past year.
Yeah, absolutely. Like just talking about, you and I have talked about subjects here in this space that I've never talked about with people in any sort of public setting. And I think that's so powerful and exciting because women, let's just say people across the planet are beginning to have hard conversations. People across the planet are beginning to say, here's what I'm going through, here's what's happening with me, and they're reaching out and having challenging conversations, hard conversations, powerful conversations with others. And this is where we have this community, we need to have these places where we can talk about what's really going on, without the shame and without the fear and without the struggle. And so I've just loved so much, we're holding this space for all things endometriosis, all things health and wellness, all things reproductive diagnoses, whatever, whatever's going on. And you guys have done such an amazing, wonderful job of just sending us topics and saying, hey, can you talk about this? Or here's a part of my story. So please continue to do so. And before we dive into our celebration and our chat today, I just want to remind you, you can always go to endometriosisandme.com. Of course, you'll see all of the episodes there. But also that's a really easy way to communicate directly with Kristen so that you can get your voice heard. And then, of course, you can find both of us on Facebook, and you can always just send us a message and say, hey, I'm listening to K&K Real Talk. Here's what I'd love to hear more about. So I think about halfway through, we at one point talked about our favorite episodes. And today we want to talk about something a little different, something that you haven't quite heard us talk about because it's not related to any sort of physical diagnosis, or it is related to health and wellness, but in a totally different space. And that is, no matter what your current quality of life is, no matter what you're facing, no matter what challenges you're facing in your health, in your wellness, in your life, no matter what diagnosis you're dealing with, we want to be a stand for you and encourage you to live your best life, to live your life out loud, to go do the things that are on your heart, because you never know what's going to happen. That's where this started. I've struggled with endo. I went on my own holistic journey. I discovered amazing ways to reduce and manage my symptoms and to basically stop it in its tracks. And I decided to start helping women do the same thing. And there was just this day where I was searching, I think, on Facebook, and I ran into the Endometriosis in Me page and the group, and I found Kristen. And you know what? I messaged Kristen and I said, hey, listen, we're kind of doing the same thing in the same space, just in different ways. You want to just, chat? You want to just talk about what we could potentially create together? And K&K Real Talk was born on that day, and there were no expectations. And had I held myself back, because an earlier, younger version of me would have been maybe too afraid to reach out to somebody like that, right? And Kristen responded back just sweet as can be and was like, absolutely, let's talk. And we had we just hopped on a virtual conference call. And I mean, history was made. And it's taking those chances and following your dreams and following your passion. That is so key. And so that's what we want to talk about today is Your diagnosis can't hold you back. Your health challenges can't hold you back. They might slow you down. I'll give you that, because they've definitely, both Kristen and I experienced that on multiple occasions. We're very, very in tune with that. Like, how are you feeling this week? Like, whenever we go through a hard time, we work with each other on that. So we get it. Like, when you have a chronic diagnosis, can it slow you down? Absolutely. But it cannot stop you. And we just want to chat about that and open that up and encourage you to figure out, how would you like to show up for yourself and for your life and for the world?
For sure. I mean, endometriosis in me was born from dream, passion, idea. And like, people do ask me, like, how did you get started doing this? And I always say, you just start somewhere. You just need to start somewhere. My journey started with making the website on Weebly, which it was a free platform. I started the website on Weebly, and I saw that it was actually getting traffic. So then I started the page, and then the groups, and then Instagram, and it's just grown since 2012. And I mean, when I started it, I wasn't as committed as I am now, obviously. It was kind of just a background thing. And then as my disease progressed and I had to have another surgery, and I kind of gave up on myself, that I really started putting energy into endometriosis and me. And in doing that, I found like the strength and the power to do both, take care of myself and run a business. I don't know if it's a business, but we'll say business.
Sure.
Yeah. So just doing that, because I couldn't work, I was still putting my energy into something and still getting mental stimulation that I wasn't getting from like people at work, doing different things at work, like whatever you would do at your job. Mm-hmm. So it started in 2012, but it really took off like 2016. Mm-hmm. So you really, like, I know a lot of people give up because things are hard. Mm-hmm. And it's the things that are hard that make it more worthwhile when you feel that you've succeeded. Like when you feel like you've passed or met that goal that you set for yourself. And we're going to talk a little bit about like goal setting in future episodes and things like the course that we're coming up with. Mm-hmm. So you really just need to have that inside yourself. I know everyone says like positive thinking and manifestation is just hooey. And I said that too. I was totally one of those people who was like, that's crap. It's all crap. Mm-hmm. Fuck you. I'm going to live in my misery.
Yeah.
That's basically what I was saying. And then something just changed and I'm like, no, I can't live like this anymore. I can't be sad and mopey and home and watching TV all day and living in my pain, and that's all I'm thinking about is the pain. So then the pain's worse, and then I'm thinking more about pain, and then it's a vicious cycle. And like finding that distraction and helping others, and in the process helping myself, taking my own advice pretty much. Like at the beginning I would give advice to people and maybe not even take it myself, but now I'm taking my own advice and I feel so much better. Like I feel like I'm finding that positivity in myself again, and that light, bubbly, jokey Kristen that I was in high school and college and before being diagnosed. I really let my diagnosis define me. And I know a lot of people do that, but you don't need to. Yeah. You can still live. You can still have fun. You can still smile and laugh and be in the moment. And it takes time. It takes time to feel comfortable in your body again, especially if you've had surgeries or children or anything like that. It takes time to build up your own confidence and be comfortable in your own skin and be like, no, this is who I am. And you don't have to like it, and you don't have to be around me, but this is who I am, and this is who I like to be. This is who I feel comfortable with. This is who I want to be. Like, becoming the person that I want to be. Like, I want to be helpful and cheery and like always that person that people feel like they can come to. I don't want to give so much negative energy that people avoid me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know that they may have when I was negative Nancy.
When you were negative, Nancy. You know, you said something that I think is so crucial. I think we forget to realize that most of us want to be connected to something greater than ourselves, a community, positive impact in the world. And that's really truly like a lot of our self-esteem is related to working. Not even, it doesn't, even if you don't like your job, like you can not like your job, but have a higher quality of self-esteem because you like get up, you go to a place, you do a thing, you earn a paycheck. And so when you're at a point where you're like, well, this is interrupting my work, I can't hold what other people consider a job. It's like, it's so easy. It's even easy to get like sucked into that vortex, like that negative Nancy vortex if you're in a job that you hate. Like, guys, it didn't even have to be a bad job. If it didn't like spark something in my heart and in my soul, I was like, I hate my life, you know, like just a little extra. And so a lot of us, we want to be a part of something greater than ourselves, something good. And so even if that currently, like if going and getting hired at a job and driving to work every day, if that's not in the stars for you right now, because of chronic illness, because of just whatever your current situation is, there's always a way to have that connection. And that's what you were describing, Kristen. Like, you were literally like, yeah, I wasn't that into it, but I just thought, you know, you started creating connection for yourself, even though you were just, like you said, like at home. And so that I think is so important, because the alternative to that is like just spiraling down and spiraling down. Like, there's this, we're either growing or dying. Like, there's not really an in-between. We can get kind of stagnant, but even stagnant, when we're stagnant, I don't know what that feels like death to me also. You know, when I'm just.
Though, like in that negative spiral, I didn't realize how much I was killing my soul.
Yes. Yeah.
And I know that sounds like deep and like, I don't know, holistic or like hippie, but like for real.
Yeah.
Like I was damaging myself. Yes. And not even realizing it. I was making my disease and my pain worse because I was in that negative zone. Like you get sucked into your own misery and you don't even see it until there's that defining moment, basically, where you're like, yo, I can't live like this anymore. I need to smile. I need to laugh. I need to see my friends. I need to whatever.
Well, and and I have so many, like, I used to be very committed to my misery. So I just want to say, for anybody listening where you're like, that's definitely not me, or I'm not like that, or who's like, whatever, you don't know how hard my life is. Like
been there.
Like, I feel you. Like, I feel you on a level that you didn't even know you could be felt before, because I was very committed to my misery in all sorts of ways. I was committed to my trauma. I was committed to my PTSD. I was committed to how much pain I was in. I was committed to everything was hard for me. I was committed to the universe hates me. I was committed to, I'm pretty sure I'm an alien and my people left me here. I was committed to like I didn't feel like I belonged anywhere. And I was committed to toxic relationships. I was committed to my sugar addiction. I was committed to my binge eating struggles. I was committed to my self-loathing. I was committed to so much. And when I always had a tiny bit of desire to really understand like the positive thinking, manifestation, how do I shift my energy? Like I had like a little bit of that, but then I would also get so defensive. So I'd be like, yeah, well, you just don't know. Like, if you can change your energy like that, you don't know what it's like to be severely depressed. You don't know what it's like to be diagnosed with major depressive disorder. You don't know what it's like to have anxiety disorder. You don't know what it's like to have chronic insomnia. You don't know what it's like to have endometriosis. You know, like literally the list could go on and on and on and on. And so we all have trauma and devastation in our lives. But what sets us up for a higher quality of life is deciding how we're going to deal with it. Like, am I going to be committed to my misery and like rolling it? Like, just imagine like a pig rolling around in the mud. I love piggies. I hate to use them in this example, but just imagine like most of us are rolling around in the mud. We love it and we want other people in the mud with us because it's uncomfortable when other people are feeling better. It's uncomfortable when other people were like, oh, I did this and it totally went away. And you're like, whatever, get out of my life and my face.
Misery loves company.
Right, yes. And this is not judgment, guys. Like both of us, Kristen and myself, like we have lived in this and we've both done like steps and steps of growth to unravel this so that we could regain more control over our quality of life, so that we could actually enjoy life. Because man, if we're not enjoying life, I mean, what the hell are we doing here? I mean, what are we doing?
Like, I totally agree. Like, go back to episode 1, and that Kristen was still in the misery. She was getting a little better, but she was still in the misery.
Yeah.
And it's painful. It's
painful.
so exhausting.
And that's what thing, Kristen, I don't know if you saw my post from, I think it was yesterday, my Facebook post just on my personal page. By the way, you guys are all welcome to add me on Facebook on, it's Kenny King, Kenny with an I, if you're not watching. You're more than happy to friend request me. But on my personal page, I was saying how it feels hard, right? Like it feels hard. Like we think it's hard. Like change is hard. Eating healthier is hard. Moving our bodies regularly is hard. Changing our energy, having a positive attitude is hard. Experiencing and expressing a life of gratitude is hard. Like change is hard. Making more money is hard. Leaving my job that I hate is hard. Not being able to work is hard. Like we have all these things that we decide are hard. But just like you're saying, Kristen, I just love this message so much. Like being miserable as hell, that's hard. Hating your body and feeling like you and your body are at war, that's hard. Being miserable every single day, that's hard. Like feeling tired all the time, that's hard. Like everything that you're talking about, that's all hard. So it's like, which version are we gonna choose, right? Like sometimes when we decide to change, in the beginning it feels hard because it's unfamiliar. We're used to a different kind of hard. So that hard, the misery, is familiar, it's comfortable, but it is not easy. So once change becomes familiar, once you just take some of those steps to heal your body from the inside out, to cultivate an attitude of gratitude, to begin your self-care, self-healing, wellness journey, to begin your mental health journey, like all of the above, to decide to branch out and work for yourself, to work from home, because that's what you're capable of right now. Like, it feels hard in the beginning because you're looking at like the steps in the beginning and it's different than what you're used to. Once you start going down though, and you start to notice like the shifts in you, when you're healthier, when you're happier, when you're more energetic, when you're more confident, when you have more love for yourself and acceptance for who you are, when you see what you're capable of because you're earning money from your freaking computer, like whatever that is, then that is the thing that gets to be easy, because that gets to be your new normal and your new comfortable. So it's basically like, which one are you gonna choose? And the choice does get to be yours. We're not here to say, here's what you should do. No, but we are here to say, hey, better is possible for you. Are you going to go ahead and claim it now? Because you already deserve it. You always have.
Like, hello, life is hard. It's really hard. Like, you don't need to make it harder on yourself.
Yeah, I love that. Like, hello, life is hard.
And I read this like meme or something the other day, and it was about a chicken and egg. If the shell is broken from the outside, it dies. But if the shell is broken from the inside, there's life.
Yeah. Yeah. What I love about that too is just going back to that. We all have our trauma and our pain and our journeys and our challenges. And let me just tell you, like, um, just one of my deepest like knowings, one of my first initial awarenesses is nothing really shines until it's shattered. Like, think about the beauty of shattered glass and the mosaic you get to make from those broken pieces. That's all you are. If you're shattered, hello humanity. like, and I send you all the love in the world. If you're listening to this and you feel broken and shattered and devastation all the way down into your core right now, I'm sending you so much love. And this could be that invitation to metamorphosis that brings you into shining, right? Like, I know, and I'm pretty sure I could speak for you also, Kristen. I know for a fact that for me, if I hadn't gone through all the stuff I've gone through, I know I wouldn't be the human that I am now, that has the capacity to love that I do, that has the insatiable desire to help people like have a better life, make more money, be healthier, feel good in their bodies, have a better spiritual connection, have the career that they love. Like, I wouldn't be doing this work with the fierceness that I do, with the courage that I have, if I hadn't been so shattered and then cut myself over and over with all of my broken pieces. If I didn't know what that was like, I wouldn't be able to show up for my clients the way that I do and share the message the way. And I'm not saying like, oh, I'm thankful for the whole shitstorm that my life has been. I'm not saying that. You know what I mean? Like, you can express gratitude, but you can always look back and say, okay, I have a decision. Life is happening to me or it's happening for me. Which one's more empowering? And even if you're in the midst of it, you can sort of, I call it like settling into the eye of the hurricane, right? Like, when you're in a hurricane and there's just like, I don't know if you guys have hurricanes like Texas does, but you know, we get them. So it's a good analogy for people in my hood. But in the hurricane, there's like all this debris, there's all this chaos, there's all this wind, and you can't do anything about it, right? Like, we always have stuff that we can't do anything about. But then there's the eye of the hurricane. So in that chaos, you can step into the eye and witness the chaos and know, you can be that calm in the center of the storm and know that there's something in this for me. I might not know what it is, but there will be something in this for me, even if it's just to witness my own resiliency.
I promise that in everything that is shitty that has gone on in your life or that will go on in your life has a lesson to teach you.
Yeah, there's something. If we're bold enough to look for it, there's always a golden nugget.
Exactly. And you can find that and you'll feel way, way better just looking for that positivity. There's always going to be something, I promise, in life. There's always going to be something to piss you off, make you angry. Some person cut you off in traffic or whatever it is. There's always going to be something to make you angry, but you can have that, be angry, be pissed off. You can have your opinion, you can have whatever. Have that, feel that, get rid of it.
Yeah, I love the way you put that because that's so important. Sometimes when we think about like positivity, silver linings, it's like we try to skip over how we feel about things. We are not saying to skip over your feelings and experiencing and processing your emotions.
Feel all the feels.
Yeah, feel all the feels. Yeah. So your emotions give you an idea of like the path you're on and if you need to pivot, and they all are valid. So it's okay to throw a pity party. I told my client this the other day. I was like, throw a freaking tantrum. Like, this is the problem with, as we become adults, we like little 2-year-olds, they can like, you know, they can like kick and scream and fight and like cry, and they don't care if they're in the middle of the grocery store. They're emoting, they're expressing, and they don't have the words. And sure, maybe we have the words as we're older, but there's a whole lot of times, guys, that I feel stuff and I don't have the words for it. So give yourself permission to feel what you feel first. Like, let yourself feel it. Write it out. Punch pillows. Take a hot bath and cry. Like, let yourself feel and let it be okay without the need to fix it. Like, you don't need to be fixed, right? Like, your feelings don't need to be fixed. Your feelings need to just be maybe expressed or understood. And most of the time, when we have a negative feeling, it's a hint that there's some sort of like thought or belief or pattern that isn't necessarily true that we're really buying into, which tends to be the source of a lot of like hurt feelings and arguments and things like that. And that's a communication thing, and that's just a self-awareness thing, and that takes time and growth and effort. But the whole point is to say, have your feelings and express them and do what you need to do to process, but don't live there. Just don't make your home there. Don't decide that you're not worthy of love, or that you have to, that you're, you're sick and there's no cure and you're just doomed to chronic pain for the rest of your life. You don't have to decide that. You don't have to. So just making a decision that, like, which one's more empowering? I'm doomed for the rest of my life to be in chronic pain 24 hours a day, or better is always possible. I'm going to try X, Y, and Z. And then when X,
that
Y,
energy,
don't work, huh?
release that energy. Like, that's all I could say. Release that energy. Feel it. Release it. Don't keep it. Don't harbor it. It's just so heavy and exhausting.
Yes. And so when the time is right, when you're ready, then shift your energy. Then go, okay, this is disempowering. Here's what I'd rather focus on. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to watch some comedies. I'm going to binge some comedy Netflix that's like brainless, take a break from life. I'm going to laugh. Laughter is a wonderful medication. I'm going to go and move my body. I'm going to go do something that feels good. I'm going to go sit by the water somewhere. I'm going to go get some sun on my skin. I'm going to walk outside, and I'm going to walk barefoot in the sand or in the grass. Like, whatever it is. Now I'm showing all my like granola hippie, like all my stuff's coming out. But that's okay. I don't care. I know what works, right? Like, I know, but it's whatever works for you. So for you, it might be like jamming out to heavy metal. It might be going out dancing with people. It might be like, it could be anything. It could be anything. So get it out, let it out. And then afterwards, where do I want to go from here? What attitude do I want to have? What empowering, like, what do I want? Do I need to read some books? Do I need to, get a counselor? Do I need to hire a coach to help me? Do I need a personal trainer? Do I need, to start going to the library? Do I need to go volunteer at a senior living facility? Do I need to go volunteer at the animal shelter? Like, what can I do to feel that shift in my energy, have a sense of purpose, and create what I want from within first? What do I want? What do I need? Comfort, pleasure, adventure. Once you get to that point where you're ready to shift your energy, ask yourself that question and go in the direction of something that's going to get you more of what you want now, because you get to have it.
You don't have to be miserable your whole life.
No.
I mean,
you don't have time for that.
I still have pain daily.
Yeah.
But I still feel like I'm living a better life. I mean, my pain is better. I will say that.
Yeah.
After getting off of narcotics, for one thing, I didn't realize how much they were like messing me up and making me so cloudy and just make moves for yourself. Like we always say, everyone's different. Experiment. Ask some people what worked for them, and then try it. If it doesn't work for you, try something else.
Yeah. And that made me think of something too that I think you and I are getting better and better at, just in our lives and in our work and what we do. And that is honoring whatever your energy is. So I said a little bit earlier when we started, I said we communicate with each other. So we'll touch base. How are you feeling today? And if it's a day where one of us or both of us is not like at the energy level where we can show up for you listeners the way that we want to show up for all of you, we go, okay, what's another day and time we can do this? Like, when can we schedule this? And there's, it's honoring your energy and giving yourself permission to not feel bad. In fact, there was a day where I think I told you I was like miserable. There was something going on. I was sick. I didn't quite know yet what was happening. And so I told Kristen, I think I apologized. I was like, I'm so sorry. I know it's kind of last minute, but I just don't think I can do it. And she was like, girl, don't be sorry. Like, I don't feel sorry when my energy's down. And and it's just giving ourselves that permission to go, okay, my energy's kind of lower. Let me respect that. The spoon theory, right? Like, my energy's kind of lower. Let me respect that. My energy's higher. Let me leverage that. So we're not here to say you're supposed to go conquer the world and be all positive and do, like, that's not our mission and our goal. Our mission and our goal is to say, hey, there are things that you can do to help your life get better and better and better. You deserve to do those things, and it doesn't matter how small steps you take. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm just in such gratitude, so much gratitude for having this place to have these conversations, and I can't believe it's been a year. Can you believe?
Me too. Oh my God, as if it's already been a year. Time goes so fast.
I know, it's crazy. It's so crazy how fast it goes, and our goal is to continue to just have real conversations. And again, nothing is off topic. So let us know your thoughts about it really helps us when we get feedback on any of our episodes, because we know what to talk more about. And then also let us know, again, I just can't, like, please don't hesitate if there's something you want more support on, even if you just want to hear about other people who've gone through it, even if you're not trying to learn something new. If you want us, like, again, there's no topic off the table. We're going to just speak. We're going to tell you the truth. We're going to speak real. And if it's something that we haven't experienced or we don't have a lot of knowledge on, that's why we do all the interviews that we do for you. So we will go find somebody and we'll ask questions and we'll interview and we'll bring someone, an expert, to you to discuss these topics. So I just want to say we love you guys so much. Thank you for being here with us. If you are brand new, go back and listen to some of the other, scroll through the episodes, see, what could take you to your next level and support you with solutions. We're so committed to you having a better life and a better life and a better life. And please don't hold back. Go live your lives and do exactly what you want to do, the way you want to do it. And we're sending you so much love and support.
And like Kenny said, if you want to see anything, we'll find somebody or we'll talk about it. Any topic. If you want us to revisit a topic because you have a question about it that maybe we didn't answer, that's cool too. You can find me at endometriosisandme.com or Kristen, Kristen, at endometriosisandme.com. And you can find us on Facebook at Endometriosis and Me. And Instagram, we have multiple groups where you can talk to women who are like-minded, going through the same thing as you are. And we have tons of great resources on the website. Or if you have any questions that you don't want to be an episode and you just have questions, feel free to reach out to either of us.
Absolutely. And we'll always keep you anonymous, by the way, too. So we're not going to share with anybody who asked us what, unless for some reason you want to be your name to be shared. But we don't do that. We want to protect your privacy, but we just want to talk about whatever it is you want to hear about. So yeah, and you can find me. One of the easiest ways is Facebook. It's KENNI King, KING. You'll be able to find me just doing that. You will see my first whole name is used on both my coaching page and my personal. It's Kenny Rochelle and it's hyphenated. You'll see that, but you don't have to type it in to find me. You can just type in Kenny King. So, all right, guys, thank you so much. We will see you soon. Thanks for being with us today.